Hello, Bulls and Bears. JJ here. It is Thursday, February 27th, 2020. The panic continues on Wall Street. We're going to talk about that today, how long it may last. And I think many of you may be surprised by what I'm going to say about this sell off in this video, so stay tuned for that. Also, emergency food kits selling out at Costco. We're going to show you the online sellout of these food kits as empty shelves in certain locations have now hit the United States. This is pretty major. We're going to talk about if people are overreacting to this pandemic or not. And another major announcement with what I talked about in our previous video, that this current event, this current scare, could be used as an excuse to bring the economy down, including the stock market. All that and more, let's get into it. Let's start right here. This is the big question I've been getting, and I apologize I don't have time to respond to a lot of the questions I'm getting. Some in my email, some on direct messages over at Twitter, many questions down in comments. Again, when I first started this channel, I had no idea I would end up with even more than 1,000 subscribers, and I am drastically unprepared to answer 20 or 30 questions a day now. Now that this market has entered the red territory, a lot of people are sending these questions, and I apologize. But here are the ones I see the most often. Let's start with the first one here. If markets are manipulated, then why the sell-off? Okay, good question, and that's what we want to talk about today in the first portion of this video. Right, nothing goes up in a straight line. There's always going to be pullbacks, corrections. Look at the sell-off that we had at the end of 2018 when the Fed was raising interest rates and talking about shedding, decreasing their balance sheet, and talking about future rate hikes because the economy was so strong. Look what happened. We had a major correction on the stock market. Now that leads us to the next portion of this video. In our previous reports, we talked about this event, this scare, could be used as an excuse to bring the economy down. I have an update on that. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a correction. This could last for several days to several weeks. Again, nothing goes up in a straight line. There's going to be pullbacks. And if it's 100% manipulated, which it is, but if they just had it go up in a straight line with no corrections, no matter what the news was, it would look unnatural. And even the most casual observer would look at that and say, hey, this is manipulated. Nothing goes up in a straight line like this. Right? There's no sellers, there's just buyers. That doesn't make any sense. So of course they can't do that. And yes, there are investors that are panicking right now. There's a lot of panic being pushed out there, a lot of fear being pushed out there through the media, and a lot of people are in fear and panicking. And not just panicking, some people are just stocking up to be safe, kind of like we recommend here on this channel. But that's going to be the next segment here in a minute. We're going to talk about some empty shelves, which locations, and also Costco emergency food kits selling out online. All right, but back to this question. Yes, there's going to be some big red days. I don't think we're going to continue to see the 1,000+ sell-off days. I think it'll start to level out after a pretty big correction, of course. But then here is my prediction. The market will continue to new highs in the coming months. Now, why do I say that? Well, the president went out there and he was very calm about the situation. I'm not saying he's right, but the fact that he's calm and the rest of the world and the media is hyping this as the next global black plague, right? That tells us what's going to happen with the manipulation. And again, all of this is just my opinion, but here is what I want to announce. They will use this correction, this scare, this fear, as reason to cut rates, push more stimulus, and we've seen anywhere from 50 to 100 billion and beyond being pumped into the banking system. Expect that to increase. I wouldn't be surprised we're going to start seeing 150 billion, 200 billion a day. No one knows the exact numbers, and the exact numbers aren't important, but the fact is, this scare, this fear is going to continue the excuse to pump stimulus into these markets. And yes, I'm still calling for Dow Jones 32,000 and beyond before the end of the year, before November at least. Now, again, let me just explain it in a different way. If we would have seen the White House come out in the recent speech and be very alarmed in their language, then I would have said to you today, I would have said, yes, this is going to be used as the excuse for the stock market to come down, for the economic decline or correction to begin. But that did not happen. They were calm, and that tells me that this is going to be temporary. We're going to continue to see, again, some red days, maybe for a few days, a few weeks, and then on to new highs later in the year. I wanted to say that. I know we're repeated myself, but what I'm finding is if I just say something one time, people down in the comments get everything wrong and they misunderstand what I'm saying. So I'm going to start being very clear and maybe have to repeat myself a few times. I apologize to those who are catching everything on the first run through here. But I think you agree, if you look down in the comments, you see a lot of misinterpretations about what I say here. Right, so one more time, the White House, they were not panicking, and we know they are in basically holding hands with the Fed right now. It's going to be used to pump more stimulus, to cut rates. We're also going to see tax cuts coming up later this year to keep the markets from imploding, to keep the economy from going into recession. And I'm also predicting we will not see 2 quarters of negative growth. There will not be an official announcement of a recession in 2020. Next, let's talk about this report. This is out of KHON2.com. The current fear spreading globally is causing some locations in the U.S. to see empty store shelves of many products. And this news report right here shows about a Costco where people are stocking up on supplies. We're talking bath tissue, canned goods, storable food has also sold out at Costco online. Let's take a look here. Now, first of all, I've got a news report from a couple years back that shows you the actual product that was in stock at Costco.com. They sell this and it's out of stock right now. This is a food kit that survives, that will last 25 years. It went for about $1,000. And I brought this up so you could see the name brand here. Nutri-Store 1-year emergency food kit, 6,200 servings. All right, remember that name because we're going to do a search here now at Costco.com just to prove to you that this is sold out. Here's another more recent report here that shows this emergency food kit is available at Costco, or at least was available. Let's go to Costco.com right now and take a look. Here we are. Now first let's just type in the name brand, Nutri-Store. That way anything from this company will show up in search. Okay, nothing found, no results. Okay, so you say, hey JJ, maybe they just no longer sell that brand. Let's just search for emergency food and see what we have. Okay, so let's do that. Sorry, no products. Okay, let's do a more generic search. And we'll search all departments here. How's about just storable food? And we have some containers showing up. Food storage containers. That's not what we wanted. We wanted the emergency food kits, and they are sold out. None to be found at Costco.com. So because of the media, a lot of fear is spreading now into the U.S. with some empty store shelves and the selling out of emergency food kits at Costco. Now, if you've been on this channel for a year or more, then you are likely prepared. You have canned goods. You have these items that are going to have a 2-year shelf life. We're talking beans, canned goods, fish. I even have stew that's got a 2-year shelf life. And I'm not suggesting that anyone panic or run out and put all your money into canned goods, but do have a few months worth of food on hand. It's not going to hurt. If the food approaches expiration date, then you can just start eating it. There's no risk in this. There's no loss at the end. But you're just going to have a little stockpile to last you a few months if something bad does happen. Do I think it's going to happen? No, I still think it's going to be contained here in the U.S. So far, we have not seen any fatalities from this yet. I'm not predicting the future. It could, and panic could spread. It's not actually the pandemic that gets us, though. A lot of times, it's just the fear of the pandemic. And just look what's happening right now. Emergency food kits are selling out, even though no casualties are reported from this current scare that we're seeing. Okay, so we're going to wrap this one up right here. The market's in the red again. We'll see where it closes out. I might check back with you later in the day as this economic turmoil continues to unfold. We're going to try to do more frequent updates. Yes, I'm still working a full-time job, so I apologize I can't get more videos out. But I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, for supporting this channel, for going with me, for traveling with me on this journey of this just insane economic times that we're in right now. And believe it or not, I think it's going to get even more crazier as we proceed into 2020 and later into the year as we approach the end of the year. Until then, ride the bull, and I hope you're prepared for the bear. Thank you for being here. Hope you're well. Bye for now.